All right, so it's that time of year again where I cover my top 10 retiring Lego sets for investing and collecting. And I'm going to jump right into that list, but I want to preface it with just a couple things. First off, obviously, as always, this list is from Brick Fanatics. No guarantee of retirement on these sets, so they could last longer than the end of 2025. Secondly, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes. Always make the decisions that's going to be the best for you and your family if that's the case. And then at the same point in time, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in, my opinion, and that's all it is, on where the Lego investing market is at this point in time. And what I would say I've seen is definitely over the last 2 or 3 years, it's definitely cooled off a lot. So you definitely need to make very smart buying decisions when you're buying into Lego sets. What I would say for me personally, when I'm looking to purchase a set, I'm looking for very steep discounts, much better discounts than maybe I saw in the past. In the past, I might have been fine with 20% off on a good set or 30% off. I'm really looking nowadays for like 40, 50, even 60%. So I'm looking for steep discounts on sets that are at least somewhat popular, if not very popular, so that way, not only will they grow after retirement, but I've bought it at such a heavy discount that there's just that much more room to grow from the profit side after all the expenses. I would sooner look for a set that's on the shelf that's semi-popular, that's at a very good discount, than get a very popular set that's at no discount and you're buying at retail, if that makes any sense. So really, look for those discounts, make very good buying decisions for yourself so that way you can have the best chance of maximizing profits if you're looking for investing on these sets. If you're looking for collection, all of these sets, to be honest, are great sets for the collection. So at the same point in time, this list is great for just anybody that's looking to pick up sets that maybe they don't have yet before these sets are gone for good. And that also helps because if they do end up shooting up in value for whatever reason after retirement, you'll at least not have to pay that premium price. So with that said, that's my opinion on where the market is. You know, obviously, again, not financial advice, just my opinion on all of this. But let's go ahead and jump into the number 10 set that I have on my top 10 list. Number 10 is going to fall in the Star Wars category, and that's going to be the Ghost and Phantom 2. That one's going to retail for $160. This set released September 2023, so it's just shy of 2.5 years shelf life, which is just a little over typical, I would say. 2 years is probably the typical. Some really great minifigures. It's got 4 exclusive minifigures in the set. They're going to be a value of right around $80 as of this recording. If you are a Bricklink seller of any kind, I like to put the part out value on this as well, so you can kind of see where that falls as of this recording. The part out value on this is going to be $243.05, and that's going on the average sales from the last 6 months is what I'm basing that off of from Bricklink's numbers. And then comparing it to a comparable, I would say the Ghost from 2014, set number 75053, would be the closest one in comparison. That retailed back in 2014 for $90. And then on eBay, you can find it pretty much for $400, $500 all day now, new and sealed. So there's a good potential for this set. I really like the minifigures. Outside of the 4 minifigures, you'll also get a chopper in the set. So it's just a really good set. Obviously, this one has the Phantom 2 as well as the Ghost, which is a plus from the previous version. So I think this one has a lot going for it. It was supposed to retire last year. It fell off the list. This year, it should be retiring. So I think there's a lot of upside to this one if you, again, can get it for the right price. Number 9 is going to be the Mighty Bowser. This is such a cool set. Retails for $270. Obviously, I'm a big Super Mario fan, so this one definitely had to make the list, and I think this is iconic for anybody that's into Super Mario or that's played the Super Mario games over the years. This one released October 2022, so it's just a little over 3 years on the shelf, so a little bit of a longer shelf life, which can be a good thing. It has 0 minifigures in it, which I typically don't like, but the set's so good that I kind of still feel like this is a good pick. And again, also just a great set to have in your collection. Part out value on this is $336.82. I typically like to see at least double on the part out value, if not more, but in this specific case, the part out value isn't all that great, just to be frank. And then if I were to compare this, the NES just retired at the end of last year. That is also an amazing set. That one also retailed for $270. It's only going for about $300 on eBay right now, and it's been retired for about 8 months. So not great, to be frank. I would have thought the NES would have done better. So hopefully that's not a sign of things to come with the Mighty Bowser, but that is the closest in comparison. Regardless of that, though, I think it's a great set, and I think if you can pick it up at the right price and find a discount, then it's definitely worth looking at buying. Number 8 on my list is going to be the Coruscant Guard Gunship. This is another set that I am a big fan of. This one retails for $140. It also released onto shelves September 2023. That's about a 2.5-year shelf life, or just a little bit under. This one has got some really good minifigures, and that's probably the main reason I like this one. You're getting 5 total minifigures in the set, 3 of which are exclusive, and then the total value on the minifigures is $70. So half of your retail cost right there is just in minifigures. Part out value, $208.95. So not a great part out value, again, unless you're getting a really good price on the set. And then if I were to compare this to something, I would compare this to something like maybe the 20th anniversary Slave 1. That one was $120, if I'm not mistaken, when it retired 3 or 4 years ago, and now it sells for about $220, $225 or so. So that is promising, again, as long as you can get it at the right price. It's a good set. Again, I like the minifigures being a value at almost $70 just on the minifigures alone, but at the same point in time, buying it at the right price. Is it the most popular set out there? Probably not. It's a very good set, and I think it is going to be a popular one at the end of retirement. Real quick interruption to talk about today's sponsor, Whatnot. And if you're not familiar with Whatnot, Whatnot is this really cool live stream shopping app that you can basically get on any device, and you can hop into the app and buy all kinds of different products. Obviously, they have Lego, which is amazing, but there's lots of different products from lots of different sellers that you can shop on this app. And the cool thing is, there's also lots of different ways to buy the products on the app. So you can jump into live streams and just bid on the different items that you want, and a lot of times get really great deals on these items. But then you can also just go to the Buy It Now tab and just buy the item if you want. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's lots of other amazing features and things to go along with the app that I want you to check out. But outside of that, I'm going to be running my very first sponsored Whatnot live stream on August 30th at 7 p.m. I'm going to be giving away almost $500 in Lego sealed sets. So a lot of really cool sets. You might even recognize one of those right now. But I'm also going to be dollar starting just tons of amazing Lego sealed sets as well. I'm not restricting it to any specific category or theme. We've got everything from City to Star Wars to Friends to limited edition GWPs, even a Space Baby, if you can see that right there. So lots of amazing sets and a massive giveaway to go along with it. So I'm dropping my affiliate link down in the description below. Go ahead and click on that. When you sign up, you're going to get a $15 credit for clicking that link, which is amazing because you can shop my store with basically $15 for free, or you can shop on someone else's store. Whatever you want to do with it is perfectly fine. But the other side of it is, once you sign up, I want you to head over to my store, Brick Quest, 2 words, and click on the shows tab. You're going to see my show for August 30th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on there. Click on the bookmark tab up at the top right-hand corner. That way you don't miss out on this amazing show when it comes up. It'll send you a notification on that date letting you know that the show is going live. I hope many of you will join me for that show. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a great time to hang out, but also a great time for you to shop some amazing sealed Lego sets and also get some great deals on those sets. So hope to see you there. Thanks again to Whatnot for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to our top 10 list. Number 7 on my list is going to fall into the Harry Potter category. It's the only Harry Potter on this list, and that is going to be Diagon Alley, set number 75978. Retails for $450. I actually just did a review on this set, so go check that out. This one released September of 2020, so this has been on the shelf for 5.5 years, so a very long shelf life, but at the same point in time, a very popular set. This one has 17 minifigures, most of which are exclusive. If you bought a full set of them, they're going to be about $105 to $110 in value for a full set of the minifigures. Really, there's only kind of one main main one that's a high value, and that's that Gilderoy Lockhart minifigure from the set. But great group of minifigures. Part out value on this one is going to be okay. It's going to come in right around $750 as of this recording. Again, not double the value, so don't love it, but it's all right. If I were to compare this one, I would just compare it to the older Diagon Alley 10217. The original price for that was $150. That one retired in 2013 and is now selling for about $300. Hopefully, with this one being a UCS version, it would do a lot better. And again, also, just another great set to have in your collection. Number 6 is going to fall into the icons category. We got to put a modular in here, and that's going to be the Boutique Hotel. It's going to retail for $230. This one released January of 2022. It's hard to believe. So this one's going to have a 4-year shelf life, which honestly, I thought it was a lot shorter than that. But it's got 7 total minifigures in it for a value of $20. So nothing great there, unfortunately, but that is typical for the modular series. Part out value on this one's going to be $344.59 for those Bricklink sellers. So again, just kind of okay, like we saw with Diagon Alley. And then the closest comp on that's probably going to be the police station. That was originally $200, retired at the end of 2023. Value on that is already $325 to $350. We know the modulars typically do very well in retirement because they're in a series. Anything that's in a series, obviously people want to go back and get, which is always a plus. Just to bring it up though, if we were to look at the bookshop as well and what's kind of happened with that, that one retired at the end of 2023, but it hung around for quite a while on Amazon. So it's taken a while to kind of get off the ground. That one retailed for $200 and it's only about $260 right now. So there's always kind of these caveats that could play into this as time moves on. But I think the Boutique Hotel is an amazing set. I've built it. I really like the look of it. I like the feel of the set itself, and I'm hoping, like other modulars in the past, that it's going to do well in the aftermarket. Number 5 is kind of an interesting one. I think it's the first art set that I've actually ever put on there. So this is going to fall into the DC category. This is the Batman the Animated Series Gotham City Art. This one's going to retail for $300, so a $300 piece of art. It released back in April of 2024, so this one has a short shelf life. So this one has a short I cannot say that. So this one has a short shelf life compared to the other ones that we've seen in the past. That is a tongue twister. 1.5 years, so not super long on the shelves, which can be a good thing. Minifigures are all really good. You get 4 minifigures, all 4 are exclusive, and then they are going to come in for a full set right around $100 in value. Part out value on this is also really good, $629.42. So that is over double the retail cost. And I would say I purchased my specific copy of this from Best Buy, I think last year, and that was right around $200 is what I paid, maybe $220, something like that. So there are deals to be had on this set. That's one of the only discounts I have seen, but again, try to find that set at a lower price, and hopefully they'll run some of those as we get closer to the year. But I love this set. I think it's really cool, and I do plan on building this one. So this one's kind of for the collection as well. Outside of that, if I were to compare this to anything, I'd compare this to like the Jim Lee collection Batman art. Those retailed for $120. They're selling pretty much regularly for $200 now. They did retire at the end of 2023. The Batman art from Jim Lee did. So there is definitely some growth to be had there. If you had bought that Jim Lee collection art at $60 to $70, which I saw going quite often during that time, you would be doing pretty well on those sets at this point. Number 4, we are getting into the Ninjago theme for all those Ninjago fans. And this one is going to be the Ninjago City Markets for $370. Keep an eye out because I am going to be reviewing this set here before the end of the year, so you'll know exactly what you're getting in the set. But this one released June 2023, so about a 2.5-year shelf life. It's got 19 exclusive minifigures, about $100 in value, which isn't great for 19 minifigures, but it's decent. Part out value on this is $783.21. So you're getting some great parts in the set. That is just over double the value of what you're paying for. for it if you're paying retail. And then if I were to compare this to a comp, it's not a great comp to be honest, but the Ninjago City Gardens, that retired at the end of 2024. It retailed for $300. Most of us got it for quite a bit less than that. The value now is only around $400, which is unfortunate. I would have thought it would have gone up more because if you look at like the previous regular Ninjago City and Ninjago City Docks, those have done very well. But I like Ninjago City Markets because it's got a shorter shelf life than maybe some of the other ones. And at the same point in time, it's kind of like the modulars. It's part of a series, so people are going to want to go back later on and get that set from the past. So it's definitely one to keep your eye on. See if you can get a good discount on it. And like I said, keep an eye out because I am going to be doing a deeper dive into this. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. There's my plug for the video. Number 3, top 3. We're getting into Lego ideas with the Motorized Lighthouse. This one is going to retail for $300 US. And this set is absolutely beautiful. It's another set that I'm hoping to review before the end of the year. This one released September 2022. Almost 3.5-year shelf life, which again is kind of surprising. That one sat around there for quite a while. This one has 2 minifigures, both exclusive. They do fit the set well. They're cool minifigures, but nothing amazing, so they're not super valuable, unfortunately. Only about $15 on the aftermarket or so. Part out value is going to be $382.72 for this set, so not great on the part out value if you're paying retail at $300. And then the comp that I would put with this one would probably be the old fishing store from 2017. That is just such an iconic set. Still to this day, it's one of my favorite sets. That one retailed for $150 back in 2017. Now it sells regularly for $450 to $500 new sealed in box. So I have a feeling this is not going to jump in value. The Lighthouse, I don't think it's going to jump in value right off the bat, but I think it's going to gradually creep up and probably be a pretty valuable set just because it is so iconic. So definitely one that's great for the collection, but also probably going to be good for an investment if, again, you can get it at the right price. How many times have I said that in this video? So hopefully I'm getting that point across. Now we are going to move into top 2. This one has to be there. It is from the Icon series, and this is going to be the Lion Knight's Castle, retailing at $400. What an iconic set. I grew up on Castle as a kid. This is a beautiful set. I'm becoming a broken record here, but another one I'm hoping to review if I actually have the time. But such a beautiful set. So many good minifigures. So this one released August 2022, about 3.5 years on the shelf. So it did have a good shelf life. 22 total minifigures in this. All of them are pretty cool minifigures, but they're all pretty generic. There's a lot of exclusive minifigures in here, but they're more just kind of variants. But at the end of the day, really the only kind of valuable minifigure I'd say is the Lady of the Brave Lion Knights, which is just around $14, $15 or so. But not a great value overall in the minifigures, but if you bought a full set of them, you're going to spend about $100. Part out value on this is going to be $654.14, which is not great. Again, if you purchase it at retail, but hopefully you got it for less. And then a comparable on this, I would say, is probably like the Eldorado Fortress, because that's another set from kind of going back in the day and bringing it and redoing it here in the future. The Eldorado Fortress originally retailed for $215. It retired at the end of 2024 last year, and it's going for about $275 right now. And they were running a lot of discounts on that set at the end of the year last year as well. So if you got it at a good price, $275 is decent. Maybe a little bit slow on growth, but I feel like that one will continue to grow over time. Getting into number 1, if you haven't guessed it yet, drop a comment down below. Let me see if you can actually get it. No cheating. But I think pretty much most people know where I'm going with this one, and that one is going to be from the Marvel line, and it's going to be the Daily Bugle. I did a review on this. This is an incredible set. It's one of the best sets retiring this year. This one retails for about $350. You can definitely find discounts on this. There's discounts on Amazon, and I've seen them in a lot of places, but released May of 2021. It's been on the shelf for almost 5 years, about 4.5 years, so it's got a good shelf life. The minifigures are incredible. You get 18 exclusive minifigures in this set for a full value of a full lot of the minifigures being about $180. Part out value on this is $622.31. So we're not quite to that halfway point, but it's pretty close, so not bad there. And then a comparable, I would say, is probably the Sanctum Sanctorum. The Sanctum Sanctorum is not necessarily doing amazing. It retailed for about $250. Then you can find it nowadays for about $350. Again, hopefully you got it on on a discount. But I think the Daily Bugle's a lot more popular than the Sanctum Sanctorum, is going to do a lot better. The minifigures are definitely a big highlight for it. And at the same point in time, now we've got the Sanctum Sanctorum, we've got the Daily Bugle, we've got the Avengers Tower. So we're kind of getting like this line of modular Marvel buildings. So this kind of falls into the same category with modulars, and also falls into the same category with all the Ninjago City buildings. So once you get a series, people want the ones in the past. So I think the Daily Bugle is a must-have if you haven't purchased it yet, and I also think it's going to do very well on the aftermarket, in my opinion. So that is my number one spot, the Daily Bugle. Do with that information what you will. Again, make your own decisions. Do what's best for you all. That's my thoughts on the state of the market. That's my thoughts on what sets you need to be watching as we near the end of 2025. Good luck, watch for those deals, and definitely do not forget to bookmark my live show on Whatnot. Go down in the description below, tap on the link. You'll get a $15 credit if you're just signing up, which you can use on my platform or anybody's platform when you're doing your shopping. But make sure you join us live. It's going to be a lot of fun on August 30th. Lots of sets to give away, lots of cool things to purchase, and hopefully you can get some great deals on that night as well. So keep that on your radar, August 30th, 7 p.m. And as always, thanks for watching.